Hello everybody, you big beardy, back again with another video, and welcome to the very first Monday ramble. This is sort of going to replace my Q&A, because I've done a lot of Q&As in my time, answered a lot of questions, and generally you sort of get asked a question, I answer it, that's it. But this is the Monday ramble. This is where I get to have a bit more chat. We go into it in a bit more in depth, and I can just talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about, because it's my channel, and I'll do what I want to do. Got my coffee. Got the laptops out for a couple of questions we can grab. Oh, that's good coffee. That's good coffee. And let's just have a good old natter, shall we? So, I'm going to leave in the comments down below, not in the comments, in the description down below, the questions I'm going to answer, and so you can have a little look and decide if it's something you want to listen to or not. But here we go. So first off the bat, question I answer all the time. I get asked this constantly. I'm probably going to start every single video I ever do from now on answering this question. What do you drive? It's constant. It's constant. And I'm not going to go anyone who asked me this question. I have mentioned it probably about 50 times in my videos. I'm in a long wheelbase Ford Transit 2016. It's the 350. You can take 3.5 tons, so they call it a 350. L3H3 for the people that know what that means, and yeah, that's what I'm rocking. I've been in this van now since 2 years. I've had this van, give or take, but I have driven Lutons, and I've never been over a 350, 3.5 tons. That's the most I've driven, but you know, I have driven Lutons and smaller vans and various sizes and curtain sizes and all that. So I have driven a multitude of vehicles. I even driven which I shouldn't have. Very naughty of me, but I was given the key, so I had a swing in it. I've some big cats, big diggers and things like that when I was working on building sites and stuff. They are fun. They are a lot of fun. So for everyone who wants to know what I drive, long wheelbase. Someone did ask me the question the other day, and it's a great question to ask. They said they had they actually had an extra long wheelbase. He's on my Discord, and his name's, is it Dan? I think it's Dan on Discord. How you doing, mate? My brain's gone dead. Or is it? They basically got a new van because their old van got nicked, which is a fucking nightmare. I'm really sorry, mate. My brain is fried today. It's actually Sunday. I'm doing the Monday ramble on Sunday, and I'm trying to get so much done. But anyway, he's gone and got himself an extra long wheelbase, but it's something like 4.2 or 4.4 meters long. It's not a lot bigger than the sort of over 4 meter job. He said, should I be bidding on extra long wheelbase stuff? The answer is yes, of course it is. Yeah, definitely go for it. This long wheelbase is only 3.4 metres long. Now, for those of you in the know, who are on the courier exchange stuff, it says between 3 and 4 metres. For, you know, the amount of jobs I've won that have been long wheelbase jobs, or advertised as long wheelbase jobs, and it's one pallet. Sometimes it's not necessarily what you're carrying, but it's what the shipper has sort of said to the customer what will be sent in when they're doing the whole come join us, you know, they're marketing themselves. So yeah, we'll always send you an extra long wheelbase, or a long wheelbase, shall I say. So that's what they always send in, even if they don't need it. So yeah, it gives you more options. One of the things I tend to do when I'm out on about, when I'm out having on the road and I'm bidding on a long wheelbase job and I'm not 100% sure what I'm collecting, is when they phone me up and say, yeah, you've won the job, I'll go, just to make sure, what exactly am I collecting, how long is it? Have you checked my notes? Because I'm only 3.4 metres long, and it's up to 4 metres. Once someone's gone, actually it's 3.8 metres, thank you for letting me know. And I've had to say, no, I can't do that job. But it's always good to check. So yeah, if you've got, just for those who are in the know, if you've got an extra long wheelbase, or it's advertised an extra long wheelbase, and it's only like 4.2 metres, it's still an extra long wheelbase, so bid for those jobs. If you've got a long wheelbase like mine, it's only 3.4 metres, bid on those jobs. There are long wheelbases, I do. And like I say, most of the time, it's not a problem. So, hopefully that answers that question. Got that one out of the way. Right. Next question. That was maybe a quick one. I've spent 4 minutes chatting about it. You see? It's a ramble. It's a ramble. Next up. Great comment, actually. Makes a lot of sense. It's from a chap named Hong Kong Fury. How you doing, mate? He was saying in one of his comments, I don't know whether, I hadn't actually spoke about it, but it's come up maybe on one of my older videos, saying about when you're on like the CX, they always ask for A lot of people will say, oh, we only want clean vans to go in. And what they mean by clean vans is no logos on the side. My van doesn't have any logos on the side. It's just a white van. And it's because when you go in, you're going in on behalf of that company. And if you turn up, you know, with your own logo and you're meant to be working for another shipper, there can be confusion, and it can be sort of seen as indirectly poaching. Without, it's not poaching, but you know, you're advertising yourself when you should be on someone else's job. But he said, get yourself some removable logos. That's a value thing to do. The magnetic ones, you just stick them on the side, and then you can take them off, you can put them on. I don't know how big they are or how well they stick. I might have to get one. I might get a big beardy one. I might do that. I might get some big beardy ones printed. And if anyone wants one, let me know and we'll sort something out. And you can stick one of them on the side of your van. That'd be cool. We might imagine driving down the motorway and I look around and there's someone with a big beardy logo stuck on the back of their van. Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I might have to do that. But yeah, so removable logos. There's no reason you can't do that. It's an option, so you can have a clean van, but also you can advertise yourself when you're not on the job for someone. Makes sense. Makes sense. I like where his head's at with that one. There's lots of things you can do like that to advertise yourself indirectly. Like you can get yourself t-shirts printed, so when you're going in, you've got your t-shirt. I did, before I came back to the courier industry, when I was started building them, I used to get a letterheaded paper printed with my business name on there, and I used to throw them out willy-nilly, just try and get work. Even if you only get one job out of it, it's, you know, it's worth doing. But yeah, so that's an option for those of you who want to have a logo but know they might not be able to have a logoed van in. Get some of the magnetic ones, stick them on the side like that. I like that. What else we got going on here? Derek Mansfield, I want to say. All right, mate. How's it going? So he asked, do you speak to the other YouTubers? Good question. Do we have a little YouTube community where we sit around and talk about what videos we're going to do? Fortunately, no, not really. I do speak to a few of them, but it's not like a daily basis thing or anything. So I've never really spoken to Pete the Courier. I've commented on a couple of his videos before, but I think I was commenting on his videos before I was in it and was doing the YouTube stuff. But I've never actually spoke to the man. Danny Boy, who hasn't done any videos in a while, I've spoken to him a fair few times. He actually interviewed me. Check it out. If you go to his channel, I'll put a link at the bottom. Go to his channel, and he actually interviewed me. We did like a 20-minute interview thing, so that was quite good. But yeah, I speak to him occasionally. He also does Twitch, and I do a little bit of Twitch as well, so we speak through that. Steve, who I haven't, there's a lot of people out there that started doing videos and did a few, and they were pretty good, but they sort of stopped. The only ones that really been doing it for a long time are me and Pete. But Steve I speak to occasionally. Goldmember I speak to occasionally. He's meant to be coming back hopefully this week doing videos. Keep an eye out, because Goldmember, he's a funny lad. I like him a lot. There's Van on the Run. I've spoke to him in his comments on YouTube, but we don't have each other's numbers or anything. But yeah, a lot of people sort of start and finish very quickly. There was another lad I saw the other day, and he'd done 2 videos, and then he hadn't done anything else after that. And it can be a bit hard doing this YouTube thing. It might sound daft, but it takes a lot of time. That's the thing. And to constantly throw out videos, unless you enjoy doing it or are seeing a progression, you can easily fall out of love with it. You know, I've had it before when I haven't done a video for like 2 weeks. I start getting messages going, "Where are you? Why haven't you done a video? What's going on?" Despite the fact that I'm trying to do videos. So hang on a sec, someone's just coming into my house. No, they're not. They're going next door. So yeah, it can get a bit. It can be difficult to sort of keep doing them, because they take. For instance, this video. No, my week in the life of that I dropped yesterday. It's a half-hour video. So obviously I've got half an hour of recording time. So within the week I've recorded half an hour worth of stuff. Now you can guarantee that half an hour worth of stuff is actually a bit more, because sometimes you start recording something and you're like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, or it doesn't sound right, or you're just about to say something important and a bloody train goes past or something. So it's not always you're going to record more than you actually show to everyone. Then you've got to edit it. So when I edit my videos, I watch it through its entirety to make sure I haven't said something wrong, or I haven't, you can hear me properly, or the lighting's okay, so that if there's anything issue with it, I can sort of sort it out post, as it were. Then you've got to put it up online, which means it's got to get downloaded and all this stuff. So it actually is quite a long, just a half an hour video can take 3-4 hours out of your week, quite easily. So it does take a lot of time. So there is that effort. And also, you can get disheartened very quickly doing this YouTube malarkey, because you'll put a video out and you think it's fantastic, and then you don't get any subscribers off of it, or no one watches it. I had it before. I've got, what, 1,700 subscribers? A little bit more. And I had a bit... If I have like 1,701 subscribers in the morning, and then I look at it in the afternoon, it's gone down by 1 or 2 subscribers. I'm like, why? Why don't you like me anymore? And it's quite upsetting. But I get over it. It's fine. So yeah, it can be quite disheartening. And then obviously you get the trolls out there, and you get people that say shitty things and, you know, call you a prick and an arsehole, even though they've never met you. Just, you know, these keyboard warriors who think they know best. Like, I have no problem someone having an issue with one of my videos. If you message me and say, actually, what you're saying there is wrong, I have no problem having a conversation about it, and we can talk and, you know, figure out why you think I'm wrong and why I think I'm right. But sometimes you'll get someone going, oh, this dude's a dickhead, never listen to him, he's a complete prick. It's like, I don't even know who you are, mate. I'm just going to ignore you because you're obviously a pathetic human being. And you've got more issues in your life. If I upset you with my little YouTube channel, then you've got some issues in your life. Trust me. So yeah, it can be quite disheartening. But sorry, going back to the original question. No, we don't have a little YouTube meeting room or like a WhatsApp or anything. You know, I talked to a few of them. I wish there were more people, because I have banged on from day one. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my opinion, or don't take just Pete's opinion or just Danny Boy's. Listen to us all if you can. And that's not me trying to plug me, a little bit, you know, if you want to watch more of my videos, yay. But, you know, especially if you're starting in the industry, get as many opinions as possible. Like, I'm going to plug my Discord now, but jump on the Discord. There's loads of people on there that will give you, you know, you go on there and say, oh, should I be doing this or this? You'll get 3 or 4 different opinions and 3 or 4 different answers, but you can sort of make your own well-rounded opinion from it. But that's another thing. See, going on the ramble now. That's another thing, is like, I don't listen to read a huge amount of the YouTube comments anymore. I do read them, don't get me wrong, I flick through them. But I read more of the comments on the Discord, because they are more, you can have more of a conversation through that. The YouTube, people can just go on there and call you a prick. And then everyone can see that they called you a prick, and their name is like, hi, I'm Bunny523. It's like, yeah, you know, keyboard warriors. Anyway, moving on from all that. So no, we don't have a big meeting room, but I do speak to a few of them occasionally. We should get a big get-together, shouldn't we? Should try that in some format. Have a big round table with all the YouTubers just spouting our nonsense at each other. That would be great. Right, let's move on. Let's see what else we've got. A lot of people talking about work. Have we seen an uptick in work? Because I've mentioned it. Do we think lockdown is easing? Are things moving in the right direction? I was a bit unfortunate last week because I was moving my brother's house. So I missed a lot last week, and a lot of people said it's been the best week in bloody ages. Missed out on all that money. But it's one of those things. The week before was very good. I say very good. It's moving in the right direction. I think we are slowly going the right way. Do I think it's going to come back quickly? No. We have to be realistic about this. We really do. People might think, oh, when lockdown's over, business as usual, and it won't be. It's going to take a long time to get to really good levels. Before this lockdown, I was doing very well. I was doing very well before the COVID hit. I was in a very good position. I was making good money. I had lots of clients. I was looking at getting new clients. I was looking at building my business. And it got halted in its tracks. And I think it's going to be a long time before we get back to where we're back in that period. Some people have obviously had good, it's worked well for them. because of different contracts they get and stuff like that. But for me, and for most people, I think it's going to be a long, slow process to sort. We're going to be able to live, don't get me wrong, we're going to be able to make our money, we're going to be out there on the road doing what we do, but to get to a point where we start, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's gone from my head. Basically building and growing and prospering. Prospering? Doesn't sound right. Dyslexic in me. But it's going to take a while till we get back to that point. I said, let's say the lockdown completely disappears on June the 1st. I know it's not, but let's just use that day. It's going to be at least 12 months, I think, until we get back to the good old times. Because you think about it, a lot of businesses have gone out of business. A lot of people have been laid off. A lot of people haven't got the contracts that they had before lockdown renewed and things like that. You've got to let that build up before our business can build up. So when it comes to when will we get back to the good old days before lockdown, it's going to be a long process. Plus, Brexit. I can't speak today. Brexit has hit, which has had massive implications. There's new rules and regulations coming around the industry, which are no one's really knowing what's going on. Also, in October, that the ULEZ is increasing in size. So what does that mean for everyone? Is that going to have a big change how London works? It's going to be mental. So there's a lot going on at the moment in the industry, not just with lockdown, there's other stuff around it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens coming out the back of that. But great question. Can't be a coffee. Really can't. What coffee does everyone drink? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. My coffee is any coffee. Coffee whore here. I am the coffee whore. But let me know. So we've got someone else mentioning best areas. Where do I do my best work? Basically. Which is a great one. Where? And once again, any of these questions, if you have something to add, please let me know in the comments. Please talk about it. Best areas for me. Obviously, I do well out in Norfolk for one reason alone. It's my area. I know where the customers are. I know where the shippers are. I know where the work comes out of. I've built up relationship with a lot of shippers and everyone in my area. So I actually do well out in Norfolk. A lot of people might not believe me on that one, and that's fair enough. But at the end of the day, this is my area. Some people say, oh, you can't get anything out of Norfolk. Well, it's true if you're only sort of visiting. But if you live here, you know where the work is. It's just like I would expect someone who lives in Leicester do really well out of Leicester. Anyone who lives in Newcastle does well out of Newcastle, better than people who are just visiting the area. So I do well out of Norfolk. Another reason is there's so few drivers in Norfolk because there is very little work. I get good money out of my jobs out of Norfolk. But the other areas I do well. London, I do shite. I do awful in and around London. A lot of people have expressed the same, and it's that whole thing. There's lots of drivers, lots of work. A lot of work comes out of London, but there's so many goddamn drivers in London. It's near impossible to compete because the jobs go for so cheap. It must go a third of the price that it does in Norfolk. If I bid £1 a mile, it must go 30-40p a mile in London because I've never win any work. Unless it's late. If it's after sort of that 5 o'clock kick-off and people are like, right, I'm done for the day, then I start winning work because people are finished for the day. So I have to work longer to win the jobs. But never do well out of London. Bristol, always do well out of Bristol. Don't know why. So I know people that hate it, but I do well out of Bristol. Manchester, always do fantastic out of the Manchester area. And the Midlands, I do all right out of the Midlands, but there's a lot of competition in that area. But apart from that, it's sort of hit and miss. I do have a little strategy when I go to a new area, though. Maybe you should try this when there's a lot more work around. I get a feel for an area. Let's use Newcastle, for example, because I don't go there very often. So I'm in Newcastle, jobs start pinging. Let's say 3 long wheelbase jobs ping, all at 100 miles. I sort of see where they're going, and I try and learn the area from that. So if it's a good job going to a good area, it's £1 a mile, how I bid on my work. People might disagree with that, but that's how I bid. And there's a job going from Newcastle to a good area, 100 miles. Bang, 100 quid. I'll throw 100 quid at it. Then there might be a job going to Glasgow. I don't know how far that is from Newcastle, but let's say it's 100 miles. Well, I don't really want to go to Glasgow. So I'll throw £1.20 at that job, just because it's somewhere where I don't really want to go anyway. I'm going to have to go there. I want a bit more money. Let's see if I get it. Then there might be one that's going from Newcastle to Hull or somewhere. Going the way I want to go, going back home sort of thing. I might go a little bit less because it's going in the right direction for me, so I might go 90p a mile. I sort of scatter it like that and see where it lands. I might not win any of those jobs, I might win all of them, but I get a feel for an area. If I don't win any of those jobs, I tend to sort of start phoning shippers up and going on the next one. Listen, you've got this job, I'm looking at this price, what are you looking at? Get a feel for an area. And it differs from place to place, it really does. London, you do that, they'll laugh at you. They were like, what? £100 a mile? 50p if you're lucky. You do it in Norwich, you get a phone call within 5 seconds sometimes. £1 a mile, yeah, we'll take that. Because if you use the CX, for example, they've got that bit on the app which shows you who's around you. Use it. It's great because you can go. Sometimes I'm in Norwich and I won't bid on a job till 10 o'clock because I know all the other jobs have been sold. You look on the app, there's not another long wheelbase driver in 50 miles. I'll put 150 on it. Fuck it, there's no other driver. They're not going to get anyone else to do it, and I'll get the phone call. Knowing your area, that is. So that's what I do. I've just rambled on there, haven't I? I have no idea what I was on about. Oh, good areas. Let's think of Wales. Never do well out of Wales. I always go to Bristol unless I'm in North Wales. You do get a bit of work, but that's the same sort of thing. Get to Liverpool. Good work out of Liverpool, Manchester, that area. South West, I do all right out of, actually. I've had a lot of work down there and I've done okay, which is surprising because there's not much down there. You've got Dover and all that, but I always do all right there. Southampton's a bit difficult. That's very hit and miss, that area. Some days it's teeming with work, some days there's nothing there at all. But yeah, my big areas where I do my best work is obviously Norwich, because that's my home area, Manchester, Bristol and the Midlands, to answer that question. Right, next one. I've been going on for 22 minutes according to that. Talking non-stop. I must love the sound of my own voice. I know some people think that as well, and they can bugger off, I don't care. Let's have a little read. So, here we go. So someone was asking, multi-drops or getting into the industry, is there anyone you can go and sort of work for? Who would you go and approach? I am thinking about doing a job on some of these, like Hermes and that, but Hermes, if you're working for the CX, and let's assume you aren't, okay, and you're brand new to the industry, you've got a small van, you think I want to go and work for a multi-drop company, don't go near Hermes. You get paid piss all, they treat you like shit. If you don't deliver a parcel on time, they will actually take money from you. You won't get paid much because they have time slots. If you don't hit those time slots, you get penalised for it. Anyone who works for these companies, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But this is what I have seen. You get given a shitload. Never ever do large but light stuff for Hermes. I've done it before. It's ridiculous. It's horrific. So I wouldn't touch that. But most people will go in with, you need a big van to do that. But just don't. It's not worth it. Then you have companies like Parcel Force. You're not going to be able to rock up to Parcel Force with a van and say, hey, I'm an independent, can I come and deliver a parcel for you? Generally, you have to do it for a shipper, or you have to work for them directly because they're part of Royal Mail, but they are very good to work for. If you ever get the opportunity, they are one of the better ones. Amazon, I've never worked for them. A lot of people who are professional couriers do Amazon Flex because it gives them another option to make work for the slow times. Some people who I've seen on YouTube hate them. Other people seem to love it. I know Van on the Run, check out his videos. He does the odd job for Flex just to sort of fill out a bad day. So that is an option. And then there's DPD, not work for them, but they're sort of the same as Parcel Force, bigger parcels. I know a company that does work for both of them. So, but DPD are very precise. I'm surprised by this, that you have to deliver the parcel. That they want those parcels delivered. So they're not bad. UPS and all these others. Yodel is one you can sort of do in the back of your van. What I would suggest to anyone who actually wants to do it properly, and it's not just a bit of pocket money or just something to make a bit of extra cash, is get yourself a decent van, small wheelbase, whatever, and do it properly. Go looking, don't go and just jump on Hermes or something. Either, I'm not saying go and join the CX, but look at something like that. There are a couple of others I'm going to be reviewing shortly, but there's Shipley and stuff like that. And through these companies like the CX and that, you can get multi-drop jobs that pay a lot better. But if not, the best one for just rocking up with a car or something seems to be Amazon, which I know people are going to disagree with me. I'm not the expert in this, but that's probably one you want to look at. I know a lot of people have made good money on it. I think someone I was talking to the other day, he was on $120 a day for about 6 hours of work, which isn't awful money. After fuel, you're looking at what, 90 quid after wear and tear and fuel. So yeah, there are options out there. It's not something I'd want to do. I wouldn't want to live my life doing multi drops, and if I am going to do multi drops, I won't get paid good money. So yeah, I have done videos on multi drops as well. Go check them out if you want a bit more advice and talking about that. But yeah, it's sort of I wouldn't go near the Hermes and that, just because they pay you they treat you like shit and they pay you shit. I think they were on 0-hour contracts, but that's all changed now. But just so you know. Right, let's do one more. Let's have one more question, and then we'll have a little bit of a ramble about something. Got a lot of people who just like to say great video nowadays. That never used to be. Everyone used to have a go at me. I've been called every name under the sun. I really have doing this. Like I said, you've got to be a bit thick-skinned, because some people just don't like you. A lot of people talk, that oil problem I had, yeah, that's all sorted, by the way. I've checked it. I don't know what happened. I put the oil cap on now, and that's fixed a bit. Somehow it broke and oil was flying out the top. But it's all fixed now. I should have had one prepared. Good. Paul Davies. I was talking about, mentioned it a second ago, what to do if you live in Norfolk. His suggestion, if you live in Norfolk and you find it hard to find work, is move. That's not a bad bit of advice. But where do you move to? That's the question. Here we go. How many miles do you do a week, a month, or so on and so forth on average? Great question. It's hard to sort of nail it down because it's so varied. If you look at how much I spend, I answered this the other week, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but I said around the 2 to 250 mark a day, mileage-wise. Same day stuff, not on multi-drops. Multi-drops will be a lot less. But realistically, yeah, 200, 250 miles a day. It's sort of, for me, a trip to London is 130 miles. I often do a trip London and back. That's 260 miles. And that, for me, isn't a long day. That is quite a quiet day, realistically. I often do jobs to Cardiff, so that's about 250 to 270 miles. That's a good day's work, and I would like to get a second job off that. So, yeah, 250 plus per week. We say 4 to 5 weeks in a month, isn't it? So let's say 4, that's 1,000 miles a week. You can do 52,000 miles a year easy. At the same time, the more miles should mean more money. So it's quite daunting when you think about how many miles you do, and you think of the cost of diesel, and you think of, I'm filling up at like 90 quid every other day, and it's one of the reasons why you need a bit of money behind you when you start in this before that first paycheck comes through. Because your biggest expense is not your van, and it's not your insurance, it's your diesel. Because the more miles you're doing, the more money you're making, but it still means there's a massive expense there. But yeah, so I can go through £300 worth of diesel a week, piece of piss. That's not a shock to me. And it's a good old chunk of change. You think some people don't make £300 a week, and I'm spending on that diesel just to keep running. So yeah, you're looking at 150 miles a day, 1,000 miles a week, plus 1,500 miles a week, 52,000 miles a year, easy. But you're not always on the run, you're not working every single day. So, but yeah, that's sort of what you got to look at. Some people I know do a lot more. I have a friend of mine, he travels all over Europe, and his mileage is ridiculous. It's all motorways miles. So he will pick something up in London and deliver it to Greece, but it's all motorway all the way down and back, but it's a lot of miles. I know people who do a lot less, that just do multi-drops, and they do 30 miles a day because it's all in the city. So there is a massive range of mileage you will do. But, yeah, just, I know where I sort, when I'm doing multi-drops, I sort of think, right, I'm probably going to do 50 miles a day, do 250 miles a week. Usually it's a bit more, but that's the sort of range you're looking at. I know when I'm not and I'm doing my same day stuff and I'm working for certain customers, I know these are going to be big long haul jobs. But yeah, so you can do a wide range of mileage, but if that's what you think, if you're looking to start and you put in your head, I'm going to go for 250 quid's worth of fuel a week, 300 quid's worth of fuel a week, then you're in the right sort of place. But yeah, so thank you for that. I'm just seeing if there's anything else quick I can answer. Just a lot of people saying, hey, da, 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 da. No, not really. Well, we're going to leave it there for the first Monday ramble. I know I've just been talking shit, and that's the whole point of it. And I know I've gone off topic a little bit. One thing I will say is that this channel, which has been fantastic to me, and talking about sort of courier work mainly has been my main thing. It's slightly starting to evolve a little bit into more of a general business channel. I know I still talk an awful lot about the courier industry, but that's what I'm in. But I'm going to start talking about some other stuff, the YouTube side of it, how to make YouTube videos, and might start adding some of that to my channel. Maybe turn it more into a vlog channel. One of the reasons I say this is when I started doing these videos, I started doing videos, information videos in particular. There was a lot of information I wanted to give out. There was a lot of topics I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of things I wanted to touch on. And I feel like I've done a lot of that. And I'm still going to do informational videos, don't get me wrong. But I feel like I've touched on a lot of topics. And I can rehash it and do them again and over again. But I prefer doing these longer form videos. And I prefer doing the week in the life of. And it's more fun for me. And just... the informational videos are great because a lot of people watch them because there's a bit of information they want. There it is. But at the same time, I've done most of them. There are some more I want to do. So I am slightly transforming this channel into more of a me out and about doing what I'm doing, talking about business. But just so people are aware, I will be adding some YouTube stuff in there. I will be adding some stuff from my other projects in there as well. It's not all going to be courier stuff, but it is all going to be business based. So yeah, I just thought I'd say that whilst I'm on here. Thank you for listening to the first ever, I've forgotten the name of the video, Monday Ramble. Fuck me. I've had too many rums this weekend. But thank you for listening so much. Please like, comment and subscribe. I would love to hear from you. And if you want me to answer something, leave it in the comments and I'll see what I can do. But as always, be safe out there. Have a great day.